guys, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be going over all of my favorite book series. I probably have about 10 or so here that I'm going to be talking about. I am a series girly at heart, so I love all of these series with my whole entire being, and the characters and just everything is chef's freaking kiss. So I thought we would just sit down and really discuss all my favorite series, books, characters, you know, all the goods. So with all that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face. Check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon book wish list. And let's get into all of my favorite series. So I typically read romance and fantasy, so that's kind of what genres we're going to be covering today. I have some very long series and I have some cute little just trilogies or duologies to talk about. So we're just going to kind of dip and dive into everything. I'm not really going to go in any particular order. Some of these series are very long, as you can literally see with some of these stacks back here, but I thought I would just show you the ones that I have read in those series, even if there are more that I haven't gotten to yet, just because I can't technically like rate a series all the way through the end if I haven't finished it. So we're going to rate them or talk about them up to whatever point I have finished. Does that make sense? Anyways, let's just, get started. Starting off strong, we have the Players series by Monica Murphy. This is a college sports romance trilogy. She finished off the series last year, and I love these books literally so much. I believe they are all on Kindle Unlimited. At least that's where I read them for myself. And then these covers I think are only indie published. I don't think they're traditionally published, so you have to get them on like Amazon or her own website and stuff. But I love these so much. So they each follow different couples, but they're like intertwined. The characters in the second book like you meet in the first book, and so on and so forth. I am obsessed with these. They are all a football romance. They each have slightly different tropes, but these are literally so good. It's so cute. They are very steamy, but there's also a few like sprinkles of Taylor Swift like references in there, which I love so much. Monica Murphy is a Swiftie, so I love when she puts little references in there. But I love these books so much. They are so underrated. I highly recommend, if you love a college sports romance with some spice, this is where it's at. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. We have another college sports romance series, and that is the Maple Hills series by Hannah Grace. It was originally the UCMH series, but she switched it. I'm not exactly sure why, but that's what happened. So this is the first one. This is the indie published version, and then this is the second book, which is the like traditionally published version. So mine are a little bit different from each other, but these are based on hockey college romances. They are all about a hockey player from the hockey team of the college. This one is like rivals to lovers, and then this one is like one night stand, and then they like meet again. He is such a golden retriever, she is black cat. There's such good communication skills in this one. Once again, these are steamy, so if you are not a steam smutty girl, I don't recommend, but these are super cute. I cannot wait for the third one called Daydream to come out in, I believe, June or July. I'm so excited. It's Henry's book, and we love Henry so much. But these are really good. I highly recommend. I just love sports romances, so that's kind of why we have a few little sports romance genre book series in here. But these are really good, and Hannah Grace is a super new author, so I love to support smaller, less known authors. Obviously she's pretty well known now that this series is kind of taken off, but I love her books and her writing so much. And they're not too long either. They're like the perfect length for a romance book in my personal opinion. So I highly recommend the Maple Hills series. Next, we're going to talk about a trilogy that is indeed finished, and that is the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. So I have the first two in the UK beautiful covers, and then this one is actually signed by Miss Stephanie Garber herself. I got this during Black Friday this year, and I literally almost burst into tears when I found it at my Barnes & Noble. But this trilogy is so good. Oh my god, I love it so much. I love the male character. He's absolutely delicious. So basically, this trilogy is about Evangeline, and she thinks that she has met her one true love, and he ends up getting engaged to marry somebody else. She goes to the Prince of Hearts. He's like one of like the fates or whatever, and she asks him to stop the wedding, and he does, but not in the way she intended. And so she then is going on this very long journey to try and take back what happened, and she meets somebody along the way, and the Prince of Hearts is kind of like helping her. When she asked him to stop the wedding, they struck a deal together, and she owes him 3 kisses at any time with anybody he asks. And it's just like this whole thing, and it's so good. I personally, this is a 5-star series for me. A lot of people have some mixed feelings about A Curse for True Love, which is the 3rd and final book in the trilogy, but I loved it. There is also not really controversy, but questioning about if you can read this before you read the Caraval trilogy by Stephanie Garber. I've heard you can read this by itself, but if you read this first, it will ruin certain things from the Caraval trilogy. I have not read Caraval yet, but I do intend to, because these are super easy books to read, and Stephanie Garber's writing is just so quick and easy, and I love it so much. So to that, do with that what you will, but I thoroughly love this trilogy so much, and I think anybody can and should read it. It's so good. And let's just take a quick second to appreciate these covers, because I think they're stunning. Okay, moving on to one of my all-time favorite series. Like, obviously all of these are like all-time favorites for me, but this is a ride or die. Like, this is my soul belongs to these books, these characters, and that would be the Magnolia Parks series. I have only read the first 3. I have the 4th and 5th. I actually plan on reading the 4th one very soon, which I am so excited about. But I have the new covers and also the OG covers. The OG covers are absolutely stunning. If you've never seen them, you need them. I got mine from Waterstones, but I've heard that you can also get them from Blackwell's, so do with that information what you will. But mine are heavily annotated. I don't know if you can see all of my tabs, but it's a beautiful sight. Honestly, I love looking at them. All of my tabs correlate with the covers, and I just literally love it so much. So these books are about upscale London, kind of like Gossip Girl-esque a little bit, but make it London. They are toxic romances. So basically there are the Magnolia Parks books, and then there are also the Daisy Hates books. So Magnolia Parks follows Magnolia and BJ and their love story, and Daisy Hates follows Daisy, Christian, and Daisy's brother Julian. So I love them both. I think I prefer Magnolia and BJ, but I have only read one Daisy Hates book, so I can't for sure say that yet. But nonetheless, I literally love these books so much. If you're not into toxic relationships with lots and lots of drama, I would definitely steer clear of this. The first time I read Magnolia Parks, I was not a fan, but then I gave it a reread, and now I am a diehard Magnolia girly. Like, literally love them with my whole entire being. I have tattoos that I want for this series. Like, that's how much I love it. So I say give it a second chance. Give it even just a chance in general. Love it literally with my entire soul. Like, I eat, sleep, breathe Magnolia Parks. I think about these characters on a daily basis, and there's nothing that's going to stop me from that. Just saying. Literally loved it so much. So I highly recommend, if you have not read these, please just give it a shot. Just give it a chance. Give it a chance. The quotes are out of this freaking world, stunning, beautiful, heartbreaking, literally my everything in my hands right here. Next, we have an uncompleted fantasy series, and that is the Empyrean, I believe is what this is called, the Empyrean series. So this is Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. These are the only 2 books out in this series as of right now. These are about a war college. There are dragons. There is steamy, spicy, amazing, delicious romance. There's so much happening. I personally loved Fourth Wing way more than Iron Flame. The ending of Iron Flame absolutely shattered my freaking soul, but Fourth Wing, in my opinion, I just preferred it. But I really think that Iron Flame was just a building block or a stepping stool book for the series, because as far as I'm aware, there's supposed to be 5 in total coming out. So we're only 2 books in, so there's still 3 more. So I feel like this one really was just building on the information, the politics, the world building, the relationship building, and all of that, while this one really just was about the plot, and it's very plot heavy. So I really enjoy these books. Iron Flame did take quite a while for me to get through. I was kind of going through a slump at the time, but nonetheless, I love these series so much. I love the characters, Violet and Xaden and all of their friends. It's so good. I love the dragons and like the relationships that they make and all of that so much. It's so good. Very good fantasy. A lot of people who are romance girlies who've never read fantasy before read Fourth Wing as their first fantasy, and they really loved it. So I'm sure you've heard of this. I'm sure you have read it, but if you have not, I highly recommend. Next, we have a completed duology, and that is the Letters of Enchantment duology by Rebecca Ross. So that is Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. These are literally so good. So I have finished them both. I thoroughly enjoyed Divine Rivals. I preferred Divine Rivals over Ruthless Vows, but I still love them both. So Divine Rivals is about these 2 characters. They are workplace rivals, and they're basically going out for the same promotion, and so they go head to head a little bit and compete with each other. But the main female MC has a rough home life, and something happens, and so she decides that she's going to leave her job and go write articles for the war front, because there is a war between the 2 main gods going on throughout these 2 books. But what Iris and Rowan do not know is that they both have magical typewriters, and they have actually been writing secret letters to each other. Rowan knows it's Iris, but Iris does not know it's Rowan, and it's so good. They just, the romance in here is literally everything. The quotes is so good. I just love these so much. I highly recommend if you have not read them. They are YA, so they're super quick and easy to get into. There's a tiny bit of spice, but like not a lot really, but I really love this series so much. This next one we're going to talk about is 10 books long with multiple spin-off series, but I've only gotten through the first 4, and that is the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. So these are the 4 that I have currently gotten through so far. I cannot wait to continue. I just recently read Kiss the Sky, which is the first Calloway Sisters book. Literally loved it. Loved it so much. So good. These are all on Kindle Unlimited now, so if you don't have your hands on them and you've always wanted to read them, I highly recommend doing it that way. But this is the Addicted Calloway Sisters series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So basically, the first few books are about Lily and Lo, and they are like best friends to lovers. They both have really bad addictions, and they kind of fake date to hide their addictions from their family and friends. And it's so good. You follow their journey of trying to beat their addictions and being there for each other, and it's just amazing. And then you have the Calloway Sisters series, which is starts with book 4. And the first one is about Rose and Connor, and then there's some about Daisy and Reich as well. So you just literally, it's very like character study-esque. You just follow their day-to-day lives. There's not like too much plot, but there are like drastic things going on throughout the books. They're so good. I really love them. I highly recommend. I cannot wait to continue the series, but I thoroughly enjoy this series so much, and if you have not read it yet, I highly recommend. The first book wasn't my favorite, but after you get through the second one, I started to really enjoy it. So it's one of those ones that I feel like it takes a second to like fall in love with, but once you do, you're like full in, and I just love the characters so much. Okay, we only have 3 left, and these last 3, counting Magnolia Parks, are my top 4 series in the entire world. I would give up every single other book just to have these 4 series. But this next one is Boys of Tommen. So this is by Chloe Walsh. There are currently 4 books out in the series. I am currently reading the 4th one, so I've finished the first 3. I'm almost through the 4th one. But these are also very character study-esque. You just follow their day-to-day lives. The first 2 are about Johnny and Shannon, and I love Johnny Kavanaugh with my whole entire being. And then the third and fourth book are about Joey and Aoife. Joey is Shannon's big brother. Basically, these are, I really can't say too much because I don't want to ruin anything, but Joey and Shannon have a very bad home life and they go through a lot of ups and downs, and it's very triggering and traumatizing, so please keep that in mind before you go into this series. Please read trigger warnings, and if there's something in there that you think is just going to be too much for you to yourself to handle, just, I understand, you know, just be prepared. There are certain things that are triggering for me, but I just love the series and the characters too much to not want to read them, so keep that in mind. They are very long books. I know it doesn't look long. This one is 600. The one I'm currently reading is 800, so they're very long and I love them. The first two, Binding and Keeping 13, are actually on Kindle Unlimited now, so please go read them. They're amazing. And then Taming 7, which is the fifth book, that one is going to be about Gibbsy and Claire. We have all been waiting for those two. It comes out April 14th, I think, and I am beyond ecstatic for that book because I believe it comes out the same week as Taylor's new album, and it's gonna absolutely shatter me. But I love these characters so much. They have made me cry countless times. I forced my best friend Callie to read them and she's obsessed as well, so I highly recommend. This is like a whole personality trait. I literally have a 13 tattoo because of the series, so highly recommend. So good. The found family is out of this world, and the quotes, girl, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Highly recommend. If you have watched my channel for a little while, or you know absolutely anything about me, I'm sure you can guess what these last two series I'm going to be discussing are. But if you don't and you're new here, hi, hello. These next two are basically my everything. Like I said, these two next series I'm going to talk about, Boys of Tommen and Magnolia Parks, are literally my whole personality traits. Like, eat, sleep, breathe, those four series. So the next one is ACOTAR by Sarah J. Maas. I am currently in the middle of my reread of this series. This is a 6-star series. These characters are absolutely everything to me. Once again, Callie is currently starting this series because of my recommendation, and she is loving it, and I could not be more thrilled that she's enjoying herself. My personal favorite is ACOWAR, which is the third book, and my second favorite is probably ACOMOF, then probably Silver Flames, ACOTAR, and then the little novella. But anyways, these are all so good. The characters are amazing. The first one is not my favorite, but things really start to pick up through the second one. The romance, I literally can't say anything, but basically the first one starts with Feyre, and she and her family are severely poor, and she has to hunt for their meals, and so she kills this wolf, and it actually wasn't a wolf, it was a fairy, and so the High Lord of the Spring Court comes and takes Feyre away, and it just really goes from there. I love the politics, I love the characters, I love everything about these books. I have annotated the first two throughout my reread, which once again I love having annotations, and I plan on reading ACOWAR, or at least my reread of ACOWAR, relatively soon. During my reread, I have been listening to the dramatized audiobooks on Audible while reading along and annotating, and it honestly is like such a different experience, and I love it as being a huge fan of these books. So I highly recommend these. Love them so much. Sarah J. Maas is an absolute genius. So if you haven't read the series, I highly recommend. I'm sure you've heard of it, but my whole life is right here. This last one we're going to talk about is the most books in a series I have ever read, and it is also probably my current hyperfixation, and I only have one book left, and it's 8 books long, and that would be the Throne of Glass series. I literally love this series with my whole entire heart. I can't get you any input on this. The only thing I am going to say is there is controversy about when you read The Assassin's Blade. I read it first, and that's the way I'm going to recommend everybody else to read it. I think it helps you connect to the female MC Selena so much more, and it helps you really just like pre-build up to Throne of Glass, which is the first official book, really. Some people read Assassin's Blade like third, some people read it fourth. I think you need to read it first, and I will stick by that statement, and nobody is going to change my mind. But I love this series so much. There are so many things that happen at the beginning that then become full circle towards the end. Like I said, I only have one book left, which is Kingdom of Ash. That is literally a 980-page book, and I'm absolutely terrified for my mental health to read that one, because I've heard that it's literally going to kill my soul. These two right here, which is Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn, you actually tandem read. These are the last two books that I have actually finished. I just finished them like a week ago. So a tandem read is when you read a few chapters of one, a few chapters of another, and you go back and forth, because they are in different point of views, but they take place at the exact same time in the timeline. But I love this series with my whole entire heart. I have like 2 or 3 tattoos that I want to get because of this series. The quotes in here are out of this world. I don't understand how Sarah J Maas comes up with the things that she does for the series. It's literally insane. But I love these characters so much. I am emotionally attached. It's not even funny. This is my everything right here. Love it so much. Highly recommend. Alright guys, those are all of my 5-star Ride or Die series. If you take anything from me, it is to read those top 4 that I have mentioned multiple times already. They're everything. Like, I literally can't. Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, Magnolia Parks, and Boys of Tommen. They're everything to me. They have made me the reader I am today. They are the reason that I love reading so much. The way that these authors come up with these characters and these storylines is amazing to me. And honestly, I hope that everybody in the entire world reads books at some point so that they understand why us reader girlies are so attached and why it means so much to us. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you've read any of these down below or what your favorite series are. I love all of them so much. I love these authors, these characters, these books. They're just my everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my face. Check out all my socials down below, including my Goodreads and my Amazon book wish list. I hope you are having an amazing day wherever you are in this world. I love you to the moon and to Saturn, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye besties!